Welcome to the Farm Betting DFS. We're back to break down the Truist Championship. I know it's changed names a couple of times. And why do we break down every sport? Because we're pretty much a junk drawer of knowledge. We're constant grinders. I was listening to Pete Everett's show, and it was funny because they're like, "What makes you a best ball bro? Is it like?" Is it winning the underdog? No, it's like toiling over you being the smartest and like getting super unlucky. They're like, what makes you more of a best ball bro is actually just losing. Like being a constant loser and just going back, being sadistic. Yeah,
so here we're talking with you're just like beat up and it's like, one more than me.
But we're gonna break down golf today. We're just gonna go tier by tier. We're trying to keep it pretty short. And what we're looking at last week, Taylor bested me in the sense of Justin Rose was pretty much DFL. New clubs, be damned. He was horrible.
Dude, you were just so excited about the McLaurin clubs. You were just, oh my goodness, new clubs. He was just in the zeitgeist.
No, you know what? It wasn't an excitement about the new clubs. It was I was agnostic there. I was more excited that he would just continue his great play. He's been great. Was a decent fit. Not going to play him this week. It just wasn't good at all. Tee Green, probably the worst he's been in the last 12 months.
It was pretty rough.
But yeah, Adam Scott was my second call there. Fantastic Sunday. Yeah. It was an absolute stripe show. I watched him live. He was one of the featured groups, and God, he was just striping it. Burned a couple of edges on putts, but yeah, he's going to be a bet for me again this week. Yeah, but that's actually
before we jump in. What was I gonna say about one and dones? Now I think some of this too. I was gonna ask, like, maybe we pull up data golf, like if there's a guy that we're unsure about, like as we talk through, because some of this is
happy to.
Okay. Well, let me just set the stage. We'll jump in, and then if we like guys in this tier for outright bets, we'll call it out. I have those numbers in front of me too, but in the top tier, in the we'll call it.
Let me say a little bit about the course first before we. So it's the Truist at Quail Hollow. I know we had the PGA Championship there as well, but it's here every year, right? It's a signature tournament. So another Siggy. It's going to be par 71, right around 7,600 yards. So obviously, Tee Green need to be a monster here. But I think Taylor and I both we talked a little bit off air about what we feel about this course and who we feel that we can take advantage of, and it's not all long hitters. So I'll let you kind of kick off the high range though. That's just a little bit.
We'll go 10K and above. There's only 3 guys there. So you got Rory at 11.7, Cam Young 10.1, and Schaff 10K. For me this weekend, this is maybe not a good strategy. I'm fading this range. I mean, I think arguably the guy that's been the best here is probably Cam Young. Like, Rory misses a little too much with the driver, and that's somewhat of a concern. He's super long, so he's going to avoid some of the hazards.
His course history here is unmatched.
Yeah, it's true.
He's of all time, it's like his best course of all time.
Yeah,
everyone's gonna parrot that, right? It's like everyone's gonna say it's Roy, and he obviously fell flat in his face after winning the Masters last year here, and he seems like he's in good spirits. But continue on though.
Yeah, so I'm gonna fade this range. Like Cam Young for me, I think there's negative correlation with back-to-back winners. So, and I dove into this before I got in this because I was just curious, like, is there actually, like, is this just what people say? Like, is it hard to win back-to-back in the tour? And like, if you just remove Scottie Scheffler and Tiger Woods from that model, it's like pretty much like even the top players in the world struggle to win back-to-back tournaments, mainly because there's so much variance in a win. You have to like have a positive performance in metrics that you are historically not good at, right? Like either you have to spike with the putter, you have to spike with the irons, you have to do something that is somewhat abnormal to your skill set. Not like Cam Young, right? Like his skill set is like good enough to win that course last week. But like on the whole, when you look over the last like 20 years, like players, even top players in the world, don't win back to back, generally speaking, right? Like there's always like outliers. And I think with Tiger and Scottie in particular, those two guys, you can kind of throw that out, but there is a real like mild negative correlation with back to back winners. So with that said, it's like we're looking for small edges. To me, I will just not play Cam Young there. There's also some ownership, like as Cam, sometimes when people win a tournament, like they're just like more.
People love Cam Young.
They're more than like people want to play him more because of that. So, but using somewhat historical accounts of like how hard it is to win on the PGA Tour back-to-back tournaments. I'm going to be out on Cam Young, and I'm just going to be fading this range. I'm going to go a little bit more balanced in my builds. But what about you, Dylan? You build anything for me?
Actually, I think I'm going to take a guy at the bottom of this range a good bit, and that's Xander Schauffele. If you want, I can share his dedication. It's just, I don't even need to share it. I can just outlay it for you. Let's look at just his past 5. T12 at the Heritage, struck it absolutely phenomenal. T9 at the Masters, T4 at the Valspar, T3 at the Players. I mean, just an absolute stripe show, and I think this is a great fit for him. another guy, fantastic from the buckets we're looking for, those long iron ranges here. Straight, accurate enough. Yeah, he's going to be a guy that I'm heavily invested in. I'm really torn in a single entry between him and Ludwig. I'm leaning Xander as of now. But yeah, so really, really like Xander. It's just more of a fade Rory. Don't know where his head's at. It's like Rory is the best player. If you knew exactly where his head was at, and he was like, "Let's go. I'm gonna bring my best." He's just like, how much does he care about these events anymore? I mean, he just won the Masters again. His press conference had me feeling like he really does care, and he's gonna be invested. But Roy's one of those guys, like if he's not in it, he's not in it, right? He could easily, in a signature event like this, get 45th. And I'd be like, you know what? That makes sense. It's Rory, right? If he's going to be in the top 5, he's got a great chance to win. But I don't, and it's a great course. So I'm just going to cut the ownership head off the snake at the very top with Cam and Rory there. But yeah, Xander's definitely a play for me.
Interesting. All right.
What about, so you want to go into the 9Ks then?
Yeah, let's just jump into the 9Ks. How many guys do we have here?
So it starts up
10 guys in the 9K. I'll let you lead this off because I'll let you lead the second.
Yeah, that's obviously the dart thrower himself, Siwoo, him. I'm gonna play him obviously because it's from his ranges. He's so good. He's obviously doesn't have the length that's really necessary here. And then we just double check to see exactly where he lines up in that. But yeah, definitely him, definitely Edberg. Those are my priorities. Matty Fitzpatrick has been so good this year.
He's been phenomenal. Yeah,
he's been so good, and I don't know if I'll play him because I'm playing Xander and Ludwig. But yeah, you can't go wrong with Fitzy. Other guys in this range that I'm definitely not playing. Fleetwood's broken right now. Nothing I see in his game is standing out to me whatsoever. Last week another poor performance. I'm gonna avoid him here. So yeah, it's gonna be Fitzy. I mean, it's gonna be Aberg, Siwoo Kim for me. Maybe a sprinkle of Fitzy at the top.
Yeah, I like it. Siwoo Kim and Aberg are the two guys in this range I'm going to be targeting. I think it's like, Aberg obviously has the length, but he's hyper accurate. So like those two things combined, it's like as long as you're really going to iron play like 175 plus, like that's kind of like the range. You're like, hey, who excels in that? Who is over, gain strokes on the field 175 plus on approach. And I like Siwoo Kim for that. Right? Like he's not as long as Aberg, but like as long as he stays out of trouble off the tee, his approach game's been phenomenal. I mean, he's tracking to win a tournament here soon. And I used him in one and done last week, so I won't be able to use him this week. But he will be part of my DFS pool. And an
important thing to say, just on top of your Siwoo Kim live, is that there's going to be a lot of rain. We obviously live in North Carolina. You're going to get all the rain, so softer course, rough is going to be higher. So you really want to be playing from the fairway. So a guy like Siwoo Kim is going to benefit from that. A guy that can throw a dart from 200 yards and kind of stay in the fairway. It's going to be more important this week to be straight and long, right? But even so straight with all the wetness on the course, the rough is going to play a little bit more difficult if you're in the rough and it's playing wet. And especially if they get any lift clean in place, that's just coming from the fairway, right? So, all right, so I continue.
Yeah, I guess a guy I would take an outside shot on is Patrick Cantlay. I still buy into the profile, although like a lot of what you get with him is like a top 25. And it's like he just feels like he fades every weekend. But I'll sprinkle him in. I think he will be a play. He's good with every
Chael Sonnen gift him because he is a coward.
Yeah,
he's just like I bet him all the time. He's just a coward.
He's gonna show up at your house and just like take you out.
Fantastic. If Cantlay showed up at my house, I'm scared. Not at all.
But yeah, outside of that, those guys, I'm not going to be playing anyone else really in this range. Again, we kind of really isolate our player pool for the most part. But I think there's a lot of alignment that we have there. Anyone else want to mention?
No, listen, I want to be clear. Like, as a person, who knows if he's a coward or not? I'm just saying, like, on the golf course, these guys that just cannot win, that just don't have it. Like, that's the thing about Cam Young is, people, he's, obviously comes from a golf family, and people think he's just this hardworking guy, but like he is a winner. He can win. He's got like the mentality. Same with Ludwig. So obviously, same with Scheffler and these guys. Like they have a strong mentality. Other guys just wilt under pressure. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. So yeah, it's just like you give us enough data, we can kind of say, hey, this guy is he has all the right underlying numbers, but does nothing with it. So yeah, that's it for the 9Ks.
I do like Ludwig as a bet at 16-1. Like that will be something I'll add to the bingo card. But outside of that, and like, I mean, I guess I could do it again with Siwoo 24-1. Like, I think both those guys will make it, but it'll be small volume on those guys. There's some long shots I like. You know me. I'm a DGen.
Yeah, listen, the reason we play every sport is we spread out the exposure and really chase sometimes these long shots. And I remember I always go back to this when I was at 5 years ago when was it maybe I can look. I don't know if it was quite 5, but Cam Smith won the Open, and then I bet Cam Smith Open paired with Goddard winning the Detroit. I think was that Detroit.
3M? Was it
the
a
3M, I believe, and
yeah,
Goddard got second, and Cam Smith came back and won for. It's just like for 72. You like that breaks your soul. You're getting a T2 and a winner. So tough, and that's really hard to do in golf. As everyone knows that bets golf, it's so variant at any time. Like we can see trends, and you can kind of predict top 20 market a little bit, more accurately than getting that guy who's going to spike in an individual week. Yeah, so let's go ahead and sorry, I don't want to belabor the point. Let's get to the 8Ks. You start us off there.
Yeah, so there's a couple of guys. I think there's like 10 golfers. Jake Knapp withdrew, so just make sure to remove him from your player pool. Again, we're looking for length and or just being accurate off the tee, making sure in the fairway, and then like good from like the 175 plus range with your irons. Guys that like are long but not accurate in this range that I'm interested in is Chris Goddard. I think his skill set is like, okay, he can avoid a lot of the danger off the tee, especially on some of those holes where like he can just drive it over like the bunkers in the water. With that said, he can be hyper inaccurate at times. So there's like a risk reward profile there. It's like, yeah, if he brings his entire skill set and he's able to just stripe it and like kind of avoid, in some sense, get lucky off the tee with his misses, he could be contending down the stretch. Another guy who I feel like is Ludwig light in some ways is Victor Hovland. I just haven't seen enough. I'm somewhat concerned that you've had these like horrible performances and he hasn't been really gaining off the tee, which is somewhat of a concern. Another guy that I do love again, though, is Min Woo Lee. I feel like, again, his iron ranges here are kind of fit perfectly. And where did he finish last week, Dylan? Did we get a decent result out of Min Woo?
It was okay. He was a trendy pick. Let me just pull him up right now. I don't think it was anything good. Yeah, T18. Fine. Yeah. Fine in a Siggy. Nothing special.
Yeah, but those are the three guys for me. Outside of that, like I know you like Adam Scott, so you can talk to me about him. There's no one else for him. Actually, you know what? I lied. There's a guy I really like here.
Yeah, we both like him. Yeah.
I missed him, but that's another guy. I think, especially in the iron range that we're looking for, he'll be a core play for me. I think he's 175 plus. He's like 2-3 in the field.
Yeah,
from that range. So I think add him to your player pool. Again, he doesn't match like the length profile you're looking for, but he's gonna be hyper accurate. If it gets a little windy, a little wet, I think he'll be a great play.
And that's someone. Yeah, me and you, just to harken back to that, we both play that $200 single entry a whole lot. So I think Sep's gonna probably make the card for both of us there. Just so good from those long iron ranges, and I think he can find himself not being in trouble on the tee, off the tee. So really, really like Sep. And then you mentioned Adam Scott. I mean, we can pull up his DataGov page. He's just been such a good tee to green monster. Even at 45, I mean, his power is there. He's really, really tops on the field at driving distance. And if you watched any of him in person last week, I mean, he was just hitting everything to 4 or 5 feet. It was really impressive. Yeah, so I'm definitely going back to Scott. Good from the ranges I'm looking at as well. So Sep and Scott are kind of my priorities in this range.
Nice. Any bets you like here?
Yeah, once again, I said this last week. I bet Adam Scott when I bet Justin. I'm going to bet Adam Scott again. He's my bet. I just think this is a perfect course for him to win. Difficult, long. I think he's gonna definitely challenge here and has enough experience here to kind of know what to do. So yeah, definitely Adam Scott bet for me.
Interesting. Yeah, so I don't hate that number, but for me, the best number on this, like potentially in the field, is Sepp Straka at 45-1. Like I just feel like it's too low given his I think he could win this course like a decent number of times. Into the field is obviously super strong, so like concern there, but I think his profile matches so well, so he'll be a bet for me. And that's it. Yeah, I think that's really it from this range in terms of like pricing on DFS, but also like bets.
Yeah, so I see what you're saying, and we just sometimes you want to bet your guys. I know Sep's one of your guys, and Adam Scott's one of my guys. So it's just like I would be heartbroken if I didn't bet him and he won. I like the guy too, so I kind of like his whole game. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna giddy up on Adam Scott as far as the bet goes. I'll start us off in the 7Ks because there's another guy we have a lot of kinship with, and a guy that's great from these ranges we're looking for, and that's JJ Spawn. I love him this week. Yeah. Let's talk to some other guys here. I know we've talked a little bit about, but Alex Smalley played at Duke, right? So probably familiar with this course. Probably played it multiple times, and it was a stripe so last week. I'll pull him up. He was very good. He's good from those ranges we talked about as well, and kind of more so fits the accuracy mold, right? He's going to be a total gainer everywhere. But listen, T7 last week, the Zurich second, doesn't matter. Valero, Texas Open 14th, the Houston Open 12th, right? So I really think His game is really right where it needs to be from the ranges we're looking at. He's very good. And the over 200 mark and 150 to 200 as well, looking at data golf. So yeah, Alex Smalley is a big stand for me as well. So what do you have here?
Dude, I love Alex Smalley. Obviously, you mentioned JJ Spawn. His iron play is like perfect for this course. So like, he just needs to improve the putting performances. He's been losing strokes every tournament putting. If he just has a positive putting performance, we just mentioned
it's crazy. He won the U.S. Open just by putting the lights out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if he has a plus putting performance. It's like, I think betting JJ Spawn, even like, I know outrights are tough. Like, bet him top 10, top 20, maybe ladder JJ Spawn to some degree. I think that's interesting. I still think the number on Sepp Straka is better. Like, JJ Spawn's 42 to 1, right? Like, Sepp is like, you're getting better odds than Sepp, and I think Sepp probably wins this more often than JJ does. Although they'll both be like core plays in DFS. Alex Smalley, obviously, like, big fan of him in this spot. I think he kind of fits like what you mentioned. He's a local guy. There's some like narrative there as well, and you got to, again, the art of the build. You kind of want to incorporate that to some degree. A guy I really like, and this is like probably my favorite bet, and this is 81, but it's Ryan Gerard. And he's at the bottom of the 7K range. He'll be a core play in DFS. Obviously, if you look at his stats, right, like especially on data golf, you're seeing off the tee, he's gaining off the tee, he's getting an approach, and that's kind of like, he is an elite iron player, like one of the best in the field. The concern with Ryan Gerard is the putting. But what we've seen in his last 4 starts is like, he's 2 out of the last 4, he's plus putting. If he can gain a stroke or 2 putting, I put him in the same category as JJ Spawn. I think he is like a guy that could spike. If he spikes with a putter, he's going to be in contention to win. And I think 80 to 1 is too long, in my opinion. I think he wins this course. Like, I think he should be in the Sepp Straka range. I know.
But
it's like, even in his last 4 tournaments,
recent results, they're just not that good. T30 last week.
Yeah, I mean, T38 are better in every performance, but also like, you got to factor in that he is a horrible putter at times. Like, he's missing 3 to 5 foot putts often, right? But what we mentioned is putting is a variance, and with Ryan Gerard, it's like, dude, it's a roller coaster. But with
just look at what he did in the American Express. He gained how many strokes putting? Almost 6 strokes putting. It was second. So if he can do that, it's going to be beneficial.
I mean, he had 3 seconds in a row, and I do think he's like, this is his best season of all time. If you look at this like trajectory of Ryan Gerard, he's at the peak of his powers, and like maybe he gets.
I don't think he's the peak. I think he could be better. I think he's on the rise.
Oh, sorry. I mean, his current, like, this is his form is the best it's ever been, and like his like his world ranking obviously matches that. But I really like him in this range. I think he definitely will be a core play for me as well. And I mean, I just love the number 80 to 1, and I'll also bet him top 10. Top 20, just to get a little extra funness for the weekend. Outside of him, I mean, I'm always kind of interested in Corey Connors with his iron play, but the problem is, man, he just like everything else in the bag is kind of missing. Alex Noren is a name that like I continue to play. I think he is balanced across the board. He kind of fits like I think to me, he doesn't have the upside to win this course potentially, but I do like top 20s in the cards. Like at this price in DFS, I think he's a reasonable play. Bridgman, I'm somewhat concerned with his iron play at that range, although he is an elite putter. So like, you have to consider him given the fact that he can just like putt, drop every 20 footer he sees. And so you have to, weigh that in. Other than that, man, I guess like guys like Harry Hall is another guy that, if he brings the flat stick, like he can contend. I won't be playing him in DFS, but like just value names if you're kind of like looking for a balanced build. Any other guys you want to mention in the 7K range, Dylan?
No one in the 7Ks, but I do have some cheapies down in the 6Ks.
All right, give them to me.
Yeah, so this is a guy that absolutely no one should play, and it's a small sample size. And if you really need the salary savings, and I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom of Chandler Blanchet. Over 200 looks really good. Last week lost some putting, but yeah, I think he's got a decent game for this place. Obviously, as a Korn Ferry Tour guy last year. So I think, his best finishes this year are going to be Puerto Rico Open second, Bounce Ball 18th. But yeah, he's been gaining constantly with his irons over the last 3. I just think it's a decent fit. And he's not the longest guy in Tour, but him being accurate and a very good approach player is going to play a little bit better with the weather in Charlotte this week. So I think he's very interesting to me. I'm gonna be playing him potentially in my single entry. I know it's gross, but one of the things that are important about these Siggies is that there is no cut. So if I'm trying to get up to Xander, and maybe Xander, Lubin, and Siwoo, it's Blanchet is going to have to be in there.
Yeah, I don't hate it, man. Again, I think, he could potentially spike. I mean, other guys that I'm just looking at, like some recent performances, profile performances. Like Nico Echeverria is a guy I like, but man, his approach game has been horrendous. Like he lost 4 strokes on approach 2 tournaments ago. That is not a profile I want to target. Quickly, I'm gonna look up how's Smotherman been. I feel like early in the season his approach
he was good. I mean, he's okay. I wouldn't say it's a fit for Smotherman. He's not going to be long enough off the tee.
I mean, he fits the approach bucket really well, but I mean, everything else around the green has been horrendous in the putting. And I think Smotherman is his potential spike play, though. That's as I just look at it, like his numbers on approach have been phenomenal. He fits the range as well, but he cannot putt. I mean, he's losing multiple strokes putting pretty much every tournament.
Yeah, what the red flag on his account is just simply that everything is bad except approach lately, and like sometimes that's the thing I want to highlight.
6 tournaments ago, he played at the Cognizant and he got second. And really, if you look in his last 15 performances, it is that Cognizant performance is the only plus putting week. So like that shows his upside. It's like, okay, like the one, he gained 0.64 strokes putting that week and he got second, right? Like that is like Smotherman. It's like if he can, he's like a worse version of Ryan Gerard to some regard. It's like he
way worse. Yeah, way worse. Like Gerard is like actually like I think he's top caliber talent if he puts it all together. I don't think we'll see that from Smotherman. But yeah, I think the 6K range is really dealer's choice. I mean, I like Pendrith there in the mid 6Ks as well. It's just one of those things like where can you get a little different? And I think no one's going to be. I think you get Blanchet at 2-3% owned. So if I can pair some of the top guys with him and he fights off a T22 or T25, I'll be in a good spirits there.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Now that I just deep dove Smotherman though, I may add him to the betting card. Dude, he's plus 210. So I'll just throw sprinkle that. I'll play him in DFS maybe on one team as well.
Yeah, something about Blanchet. You like, how did he get on tour? I mean, he won the KFC Tour Championship. So that's an important. And he was a winner on the Korn Ferry Tour. And why does that matter to me? Because I'd rather a guy either get T70 or win, right? Yeah. Or top 5 or top 10. Like I don't care if you're 10th every time. If you're not winning, I need to see that you have that ability to run us to the top. So yeah, Blanchet for me on a single entry. You'll see me top of the leaderboard there, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the bet goes this week in my 1 and done, it's probably going to be Adam Scott. Yeah. That's what I'm leaning right now. I'm really trying to work my way back into it. It's been kind of a slow start. But yeah, I think it's going to be Adam Scott in my 1 and done. What about you?
Yeah, I've had so many good performances like second, third, but I like right on the edge. And so I'm going to deep dive and I'm going to play Gerard this week. And part of it's just like I need to scoop up a winner who will be unowned to like maybe get in like the top 20. So like that is a gamble on my end, but like I'll be playing him in 1 and done. And I wouldn't advise anyone else to do that unless you want to win like me. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, but the thing about, and I see what you're saying, Gerard, the only problem with Gerard is simply that he is not going to spike with his putter. So he has to
do what Smotherman, basically, if he gains strokes with putting, he could, I mean, like he had a string of he had 3 second places around. Those were all plus putting performances. And you don't know with Gerard, like who's going to show up putting. I mean, most of the time it's a shit putter that shows up. If he just doesn't lose strokes putting, like he'll be in contention. And so that is enough for me to warrant, like, again, he fits the iron bucket perfectly and he's not long, but I think as long as he can stay out of trouble, avoid the bunkers, yeah, I think he'll be an interesting play. We'll revisit this on Sunday, and hopefully we're on doing a stream and we're like, hey, we got a live
20K, 200K. Yeah. I mean, listen, eventually we're gonna take down one of these big ones. We've been close multiple times. I don't think I've won the single entry in golf before, a smaller single entry, but never the 200 or never the big ticket. So it's not the milli, right? I mean, the milli, we call those the green jackets, right? Like you 100K, 50K, we'll get those majors, but we'll never.
You know what's interesting? You know what's fun? I think we should rebrand it instead of the green jacket. We should rebrand it the Golden Goose. How do you feel about that? Now we've added a little Gosling to the front.
We have 3 geese.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring him in for a stream. I'm gonna have them sit behind us and just gnaw on our plants. They're absolute savages. Yeah, dude, the Golden Goose. Yeah, I mean, the Golden Goose is absolutely the millie. I mean,
dude, you see what I'm saying? Like that, it's just different for us.
Everyone chases that Golden Goose, and eventually, it's gonna be captured. But right now,
I mean, that's the key.
It's the grind of it. It's also like the fun nature of like the competition of it all is like, okay, you make a good play. And sometimes it's just like you get frustrated or you make a good play and you just kind of get bad variance towards the end. And we've had that happen both ways to us. I talked about my Justin Rose bet. He was on a top ticket for me on a larger bet. And I think I walked away with a couple, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 there, but Justin Rose withdrew and saved my bet. And sometimes you get the opposite, right? You have a guy that's running, and John Rahm a few years ago during COVID got COVID, and he was leading and then exited, and like killed all the John Rahm exposure. He was in first place by 4 or 5 strokes. So sometimes those are the breaks, right? So
put yourself in position to get lucky. Put yourself in position to get lucky, and like
all things in life, put yourself in a good position to get lucky, right? And this is why we're not doing this full time. We're here on our lunch break from work, right? So, but we love the grind of it, and especially, as we gear up, we're going to talk a lot of NFL, a lot of best ball. That's really, DFS kind of priority for us, best ball priority for us. And then we'll do some betting on the side. It's not, I have some people that just bet, 30, 40. But yeah, tell you anything for us?
No, that's it, man. Yeah, have fun with it. Enjoy the build, and yeah, good luck, folks. We'll touch base tomorrow. We'll do some baseball.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Peace.
Yeah. All right. See ya.